Oh, okay. She's there.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome everybody back. Welcome back to Can I Get Some Podcast. I want to appreciate everybody coming through and spending some time with us today. Today we're going to talk about something interesting today. We're going to talk about simping. What is simping? Who is simping? Why is simping? We're going to try to answer all of these questions, and just try to figure out, who can sip? When is it appropriate to sip? And when did it go from courting to simping? At what point do you go from courting a woman trying to show that you are worth her time to simping and just investing in something we're going to get some kind of return on investment? So, shout out to all my lovely ladies on the panel right now. I want to give a shout out first to my co-host, Miss Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there.
And always thank you. The lovely Miss Jazz. How you doing, Jazz?
Absolutely amazing.
And one of our favorite guests, who she's always got some great tips and stuff. She's just an amazing person. Miss Amy Johnson, how you doing today?
Good.
All right, so let's get down to it. I want to ask you ladies first because everybody has their own ideas. So, Amy, what is simping?
You ask the oldest one out the game first, right?
What is simping?
Well, I think what I understand of it is when the man is doing all these things for you, like he's doing all the things.
Okay. So what about you, Jazz? What is simping to you?
First of all, I don't like the word. So I don't like the word. I don't like the word at all. I feel like men should be allowed to be gentlemen, and I don't believe in this silly stuff and this new age shit called simping. Like, a man should be allowed to be a gentleman, pull out doors, chivalry is not dead, all those different things. Like, I'm not with the era of look out for your homeboys and, oh, you doing that for her, you a simp. Like, what? Like, no, that's like gay. That's what that is. Treating the lady right, that's what it is. Because I darn sure ain't about to tell my daughter that that's called simping. Hell no. She can't take nothing less than that.
Okay. How about you, Shannon? What is simping?
You know what? I'm not really sure I understand that term, but I guess what Jasmine said, pretty much sums it up. I guess it's a term for when men are I guess overly giving and not receiving anything in return. I'm really and it's it's kind of like an old school term, but it may have taken on different meanings with different generations. But from what my understanding is, a simp is somebody who is, just kind of giving, and don't really get much in return, or, he's pussy whipped, or he's being manipulated or controlled.
And I like the word that she used. Like, what's wrong with being pussy whipped? What would you rather be? What would you rather be, fellas?
Like, if anything's gonna whoop you, why not be the pussy, huh? If you're gonna get whooped by anything, Why not be pussy?
I mean, I just
When you put
remember back in the days. So like I said, I'm of a different generation. So, in my generation, when someone said, "Oh, you're pussy whipped," it meant like, "Oh my God, um
Gone.
you're just so mesmerized by this
Mhm.
woman's body and the way she puts it on you. You're just under a spell. Like you can't even think anymore, and you're just doing things that you shouldn't be doing. You have no more rationality left. Like you're being controlled. That's kind of like what that meant. So I think
Okay.
simping for me kind of ties into that.
Like
Okay.
they would
Let
say,
me
like
get.
a guy was being like a bitch because he's pussy whipped, right? Like he
And
doing
that's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
that is
It
crazy.
is it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous when you really break it down, because it's kind of like demonizing or vilifying men who are gentlemen, who are chivalrous, who do, put their feelings all out on the table. Like that's considered so wrong and so taboo. And I think it's just it's a term that was created by men, like most terms.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a term that was born out of, I don't know, probably men being jealous of other men because he
Thank
couldn't
you,
have that
Shannon.
girl. Because he couldn't have that girl, or so he feels like, oh, you got her, so you must be pussy whipped, or you must be simping. I think it's
Yeah.
something, yeah. It's
Shannon hit
Let
it
me
down. She hit it.
let me go ahead and bring up the
Thank
Urban
you, Jazz.
Dictionary's definition of simping is
Please
when
do.
you are infatuated over women, allowing them to take over your mind and causing you to do things you wouldn't normally do.
Well, that just
That
sounds
is
like
it.
you're in love.
I don't know. I don't know. I think love
Listen.
can be a two-way street. Let me give you my definition of
Oh,
simping
yeah.
since I've asked you that. It's okay. All
Should
right.
be a two-way
I'm gonna mute everybody out. I'm sorry because I'm thinking we're getting a little bit of back chatter. So hold up.
street.
All right. So my definition of simping is when you are constantly feeding into a woman who is giving you nothing in return. She's made it very overt that she is not interested in you physically, sexually, or anything, but you just keep on trying to prove yourself to this woman that don't even want you. Like, for example, if she likes red wine, you all of a sudden like red wine. If she likes this type of music, you already like this type of music. I feel like you change your whole persona. You start giving money you don't even really have in order to get this person's attention, in order to hopefully at some point she will start to see value in you because you are providing all these things. That's what I feel like a simp does. He basically just like the similar to what the definition said, just goes against everything that he normally would do just to get a woman who don't want him. That's my definition of simping. Let me pull up. We got my man Don Levon. What's up, Don? He says basically a woman is using a man for his attention and his resources, and she really don't give a fuck about him, and he knows it. That is what I was saying, you know. So I think that's my traditional simping, but I think it's been bastardized, like you ladies say, to kind of say anything you do for a woman a little bit extra is simping. And I don't agree with that at all. I think that's one thing I don't agree with is like any little thing you may do is simping. All right.
Well, yeah. Okay. So on that term, I definitely wouldn't want my son to be
That was my
overdrafting
question.
his account and stuff like that, and Amy don't like him or Shannon don't like him. Like it should be reciprocated in some form. So yeah. But at the same time, maybe it's up there with kind of like tricking. Like, is it really tricking if you got it? I don't know.
So there's been a lot of terms for it. The word simping has developed over the years. Simping is an older term, but before that you was a rest haven for hoes. Then it was a trick, and then shout out to the Bay, it was Captain Save a Hoe. That it was probably the closest thing to the modern day simp.
is I want to be saved. So that's kind of where cats.
All the Captain Saver hoes out there. Thank you,
Shout out.
thank you. Because I mean, that has helped many women.
Many
beat they
many Visa bills have been paid. Many cell phones have been bought. Thanks to Captain Save Hoes. You go every woman need a Captain Save a hoe in their life. Just don't let it be you. All right, let me pull up Diddy. Diddy just jumped on here. What it do, my brother Diddy? How you doing?
What's going on? What's up, everybody? What's going on? Yeah.
And I gave my opinion.
What's up, Shannon?
What is a simp to you? What is simping to you, Diddy?
Oh, so listen, right before I got on, I just had a conversation about the topic at hand, and my friend just let it all out. So here's what she says, simping is a word that people use. She said in the black community because somebody jealous because they ain't got it. She said, there's no such thing as simping. She said, the reality is you just mad because you had it, you could do it, then you wouldn't call it simping. So I said, oh, that's an interesting perspective.
Do you agree with that perspective?
I mean, put it like this, if I was a millionaire, and I'm just saying mentally, I'm not one. So if I was one mentally and I was able to provide an exceptional life for my lady, I would just think it was my job, as a man. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really consider it simping at that point. Now my money a little tight is simping. I'm on with the but no, seriously, if you got the resources, I don't think it's that bad, to provide.
There you go, Did.
Hold up. I get what you're. There's a difference between showing value and just in expressing your general interest in somebody on whatever level you able to do. Like, for example, if I had a boat, and when I was dating my wife and she liked boats, I'd be like, come on the boat. That ain't simping. But if she say she like boats and then you go out and in front like you got a boat to get her on the boat, I think you stepping over the line of simping. If you're doing more than you really should be doing for somebody who is not expressing any interest. I think what we're getting kind of conflated is doing for the person you're into, who's into you, that's with you. That I think there's no limits to what you should do for the person that you with. But I think what it falls on, and of course, women is going to say, like your friend going to say, about sim because she gets to take advantage of the simps that'll take them out to dinner, and she has no much. Of course, women go, oh, there's nothing wrong with simping. But and I'm gonna ask the women here: have either of y'all, all of y'all, any of your three of y'all, went on a date with a man that you had no intention of dating or having any type of sex or anything like that? You just went for the dinner or the experience. Don't front.
I mean, I went on dates with gentlemen that we were not going to have sex. But it's just for us to have fun. And
but do you think his intention was to potentially have sex with you?
I don't get into other people's intention, right? So I don't want to get into the backdrop of too much of why I know he wasn't trying to really smash or anything else like that. Sometimes people just want to get, come out and, some of us provide an easier kick it than others, like we can just have fun and just go out.
What do you think about that, Diddy? You think that's cap? You think that's what's up? That's true.
Nah, you definitely want to smash. I ain't gonna hold you.
He was just respectful with the fact that you weren't going to let him. Some dudes are disrespectful about it. He was just respectful and respected your boundaries. That's different. But he wanted to smash. If you would have said, let's go back to the hotel, he would have smashed it like an Idaho potato.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, right? But I think in some regards, sometimes people just want to, step out for a second. And I don't know. I ain't no dude. I'm done with that. I'm just saying I've done it and shit. Okay. And
Amy, have you ever gone on a date with a guy you had no intention of dating or having sex with?
Yeah. Yeah, for the good time. Like, okay, so they might be cool and you're really not going to know till you go out with them anyway, but I've absolutely done that.
Okay, what about you, Shannon? You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. The answer to that question would be yes.
And why would you go out when a guy you up front knew that you had no intention of having any type of relationship or sex with?
Well, honestly, I don't know. Like when I meet somebody and I'm getting to know them, I don't even know if I'm gonna have a relationship with them, or what kind of chemistry there's gonna be until we actually, get to talking, eating, drinks start flowing. I guess I will say that I can't recall a time ever going out on a date with somebody that I was just disgusted by, or someone that I was just like not attracted to, like not at all.
Okay. I
But
don't even have to be like a fat like slob or whatever, but you just knew he just not the dude, and he's not gonna get no part of that cookie. He just I'm
yeah,
gonna go to this nice restaurant.
I never really know that. I never really know that until, we actually spend time with each other and there's a vibe going.
So that old saying, Diddy, what do you think? You think that's cap? You think that's real talk?
I mean, no, I believe that there's some truth to that. I mean, okay, for instance, like sometimes, we all have the physical attraction when we first meet somebody out the gates, and we kind of already know, like, what they call it, like, remember the game Smash or Pass? They put somebody's name up, picture of a Smash or Pass. So you kind of know in the back of your mind. But sometimes, like to Shannon's point, I talked to one of my friends. She was telling me, like, my homeboy, she like, man, your boy, he real nice looking, man. He'd get way more pussy if he just shut his damn mouth. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like, he ruined it based off of what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? So like that vibe, somebody could be attractive, but if you throw that energy off, you're done.
Or maybe it doesn't have to be like a dinner, but like somebody would provide like an opportunity to do something that you've not done. Like, okay, I know I've done that before. Like, okay, well, this sounds cool. I don't really know if I like him like that, but shit, why not, right?
Yeah, I think all that sounds great, but I think realistically, there are a lot of women out there going out, having dates. They got guys saved in their phone under the name like Ruth Chris or Dinner. I mean, seriously, women are saving guys' names in their phone under the restaurants they want to take them with too.
Boats, trips, shit like
exactly.
that.
Money,
Yeah.
Visa bill.
And then y'all saving us as deep throw, juicy, wet, squirt, this. You listen.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
So all I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm just like, it's cool. It's cool. Yes, I have been.
Okay.
So
okay, well, yeah, all right. And
Diddy, like, let's just have fun. Like, there's times that guys have went out with women and okay, you could be on some revenge shit or whatever. But I know, like, I've been out on dates with guys and I was in the in-between stage of a relationship. And I'm like, shit, I'm about to go out with this guy. And so, yeah, no, I'm not really looking to like intimately bond with you or anything. Let's just kick it. Let's have a good time. And that's just that. It's nothing real deep about it.
Don't you think that
I don't know if Jen is calling cap on me or cap on you, but Jen's calling cap on somebody out here.
She said dang. She was very clear.
Don't you think that men would do the same? Like, okay, I gotta go to this event. I'm not gonna take no busted ass woman. I'm gonna take the girl that looks good. I don't plan on being with her, but she looks good. She might, like you said, Diddy, where she opens her mouth, she fucks it up, but she
the
looks
answer
good,
is no.
so I can take her
because
out.
if she looks good, he is going
good.
to want to smash after that event.
Maybe
if she's good enough to take to the event and parade her around like a trophy, like the bad chick, if he feels it gives him some type of jump in status because he has this attractive woman, I don't care if she opened her mouth and Donald Duck voice came out of her mouth. He is still going to be interested in smashing it once the night is over.
All right, you're probably right.
Right, that's why I was like, fuck it, Amy.
Yeah, you're right.
See Smashing is premeditated.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like, who doesn't want to smash, right? So there's that.
I mean, so the thing is when you say, like you said, guys say women in the phone is like deep throat and wet and all that kind of stuff. There's a fair exchange going on. The dude is probably going to take you to dinner. He's probably going to put in some type of effort in order to get that, to make you feel comfortable, but to provide that to him. He ain't going to just show up on your house with a pack of Little Debbies and be like, get butt naked. He may, if y'all got that type of relationship, I don't know. So, but he gonna put in the effort to some kind of effort to, like, at least make you feel comfortable. Come and smash. Women don't work like that, where a guy can really half-ass it, unless you like super good looking or super rich. You know, rich, they really want some shit out of you, but super good looking, then maybe you don't have to put in a lot of effort in order to smash. Otherwise, you got to show some type of value to a woman before she's just gonna let you smash.
First of all, let's pause right there real quick, Dane.
What's up?
Okay, so let's clear this up. Like, and Shannon and Amy can chime in. Don't nobody give a shit about you being super fine. Like, at the end of the day, like we said last week, like, if your dick game is trash, I don't give a fuck how fine you are. You still at the back of the bus, right? So, I mean, that is like super seasoned. So that's what people really need to understand. We don't care about how fine you are. Like, not in that degree. It's a whole bunch that come with it. We're like complex beings. So I just want to just put that back out there. I don't give a shit how fine you are.
At Don Levon said, that's why the first date I take women to 7-Eleven for the hot dog and Slurpee dinner. That's a whole different thing. Like, I know Jen gonna have probably a shit ton to say on that, because I am not with the cheap dates. I am not with the cheap dates. I'm not with the, if that's one thing you will not, Dame won't do. If I want to go to this restaurant and I know that's a great restaurant, we go into that restaurant. It's not gonna be like, oh, I want to eat at Ruth Chris, but I'm with this chick, so I need to go to Applebee's. It's like, I like their steak, I like their prime rib, so we gonna go and have prime rib. And that weak shit is I think is a whole different category. So Don Levon, I've been liking all the things you've been saying, but yeah, that's some shit that's not Dame. I don't think that's Diddy either.
So they gonna put Dame prime rib, huh?
Exactly. Oh man. Nah, man.
I'm gonna just say,
I'm smashing. I'm the smash guy.
Like, put smash next to my name. But it's just like one of my friends said one time. He was like, listen, if I eat at Ruth Chris or if I eat at STK, like, I'm gonna eat there anyway. If I invite you, then you're just my company. I was gonna eat there anyway. And I think if people have that mindset, instead of feeling like somebody trying to get over on you or whatever the case may be, like, if somebody's trying to dog you, that's a whole nother thing. We definitely ain't talking about that. But like, do you take yourself out of your way to go get this person some wings and, like, 7-Eleven food? Like, bruh, your kidneys, what? Your stomach, why? Just to prove a point? Like, if you eat at STK, if you eat prime rib, eat prime rib. Like, and if you ain't feeling her, don't take her stinking ass back. Simple. It's a lot of people in the world.
I'm gonna mute you, but I think we're getting a little feedback. So if you hear some feedback, we can work through it with y'all. So just mute yourself when you're not talking, because I think your phone is the one that's giving a little bit of feedback. So what do you got to say on this subject? Shannon, can you hear us?
Okay, I didn't know who were you talking to. No, I agree. I agree with Jazz. Like, I kind of wanted to speak to a point that she had made earlier. Like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter how good you look. If you don't have what it is I'm looking for, then it's a no-go. But ultimately, I feel like the whole term simping, it is rooted in some jealousy shit or some bitter shit, certain individuals just not having it, because men who got it, they don't care about stuff like that. They just don't worry about stuff like that. They do what they want. And yeah, like if you are the type of person that likes to eat at nice restaurants, then, you know, I mean, and it's childish to try to think, okay, well, I'm gonna take her to a subpar or, you know, McDonald's just to see if she really likes me. Like, do you like yourself? Because if you like yourself, she's gonna like you.
I don't know. I don't know. That's that. I don't know
mean,
if I hope lead her, because there's a lot of cats out there that like themselves that the women are just not feeling. But
you might not necessarily get what it is you want, but you know, I mean, you'll gain a friend, at least a good friend. I dated a guy. I dated a guy when I first moved to Atlanta. He was awesome. He was like the shit. Everything everything checked except for when it was time to get intimate.
Yeah,
It was
men don't
just
want to
like,
be your friend.
nah, bro. I mean,
men don't want to be friends with women that they find that they started off trying to be attractive to. It's just that's diminishing returns.
He was all the way my type. He was really fun, energetic. You know, I mean, I wasn't dating him because of what he had, but he had a really nice house. You know, he was single. He talked about marriage and all of that. But when he laid down and took them boxers off, I didn't know what to do. So that just killed it. Like,
So,
I was looking at that shit like, what? It was so awkward.
he pulled out the 3-inch killer, huh? He was just
Bro, I don't even. Yeah, it was a killer, all right. It killed the mood. It killed any chance. But he ended up getting married. Listen, he ended up marrying a beautiful woman who was successful. So, you know, to each his own. I mean, I just kind of looked at her like, girl, I know what you went in for. It ain't that deep.
See?
But yeah.
So basically, what I'm understanding is what women are trying to say. I'm gonna mute you real quick, Shannon, because I'm getting some feedback real quick. So what I'm hearing is, and you guys can correct me if I'm not. If he's, it doesn't matter what he looks like, which I think is cap, because he wouldn't even get to the point where he's gonna get to show you his stroke game if you're not physically attracted to him. Women, men work like that. I think women are really trying to act like they work how men work. Men work like that. Like the situation gets dire enough, our standards go from here to here real quick.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
But what we're saying, and so I'm just speaking for me, right? And so for women, right, it's not as much as physical. Like, you can be appealing or attractive in some way. It could be your cologne, it could be this, it could be whatever, but it's what you say out your mouth. Just like Diddy just said, the one lady just told him, like, your friend could get it, but he need to shut the fuck up. Like, that's what women really feel like. It's really words, like, more than anything, it's your presence, how you show up for a woman. It's not, your suit you got on, and those are cool, but at the end of the day, Shannon just told you why your ass to get booted. That's the truth. We ain't lying.
Okay. Is simping ever unattractive? When does it become unattractive? Like, what is too much? What is too much a dude could be doing? Amy, what is too much that a guy could be doing? He just like, you need to ease up off me, no matter what is too much? When is simping too much? I should ask.
When you were talking about how, like, he wasn't into some shit and all of a sudden he's into some shit, like, that would be weird to me. Like, I didn't ask you to do whatever it is I like to do. Like, you don't like to go to the gym. Well, that would never work anyway, but I'm just saying, like, if you're into something and he's trying to be into what you're into and that's really not who he is, that wouldn't work for me. That would be like, you're just trying to do this shit to get me. Just be confident in who you are. Like, I think, honestly, what they were saying about, like, a guy doesn't need this or this, if he's confident in who he is, that's attractive in itself. So don't try to be anything else. Like, I think that's when it gets too much.
Is it simping because you're not attracted to him, or is it simping because he's just doing too much?
He's doing
like,
too much.
Can a guy you're attracted to really do too much? That's the question a lot of women have
that's
been
different
asking.
because that's when it's like that line of now we're in a relationship and you should be doing that shit. If we're just starting out, you don't have to go to Hobby Lobby with me because I like to craft. Like, keep your ass at the house. Like, I don't need you to start crafting with me. You know, like that's too much. Because you're just doing it to get something. I feel like then it's too much. Like you're doing it to get something. And you're not just being who you are.
Gotcha. When
She's
it comes off phony.
the truth. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I had to do the whole flashlight. I'm like, that's a highlighted moment, y'all. She really saying it.
Yeah. What do you think, Shani? You agree?
I agree. But then I agree, but then sometimes it is, that can be appreciated too, because let's say I like going to the ballet or to the opera and you hate it, but you're willing to do it to impress me. I will give you points for that.
But if it was every weekend, you'd be like, this is too much. Like, Jesus Christ, let's slow this down, right?
I wouldn't go to the opera or to the ballet every weekend, but but I don't know. I mean, it to me, it kind of shows like I'm trying to, I'm willing to step it up to impress you because, I mean, me personally, I like it when a guy tries to impress me. I don't see that as simping, but I'm trying to think of an example where I would be like, that's weird. Let's say, like maybe if he was allergic to something, like let's say he's allergic to, I love avocados and he's allergic to avocados and he's just like, oh, I want to try to impress her and I'm going to eat avocados and then your fucking face blows up. Then it's like, you're a dumbass.
He said, I'm gonna try to impress her, but I'm gonna die to impress her. Yeah.
Right.
Jen says that's how men get confused. I agree with that. It's like, the sometimes you not knowing when it's too much, not knowing when it's not enough or what have you. If you're accepting any type of let's just say advances or anything from a guy you really not feeling, it's like, oh well, maybe if I keep doing it, because a lot of guys really feel like that. A lot of guys really out there feeling like if I can wear you down, because it happens. Women, they want to get with the exciting guy. They want to get with the guy that they that's knocking it out of the park, that's blowing their back out, doing all this shit. But then as years go on, they realize that's a road to nowhere sometimes. And then the nice guy who they know is stable and can provide and is definitely into you, he starts to look a little bit more palatable at that point. He starts a little bit more desirable because of where you are.
You know what, Dame? I could actually think of a time now where somebody kind of went overboard and I felt like maybe it was simping. I didn't even think of the term at the time, but it was annoying. So, I had it, when my daughter was little, I was dating this guy and, I wasn't super into him, but he would just do so many things for her. He would just buy her stuff and, just doing all, and I was just like, it's cool. But at the same time, I feel like you're trying to get to me through my daughter. Like you should just kind of chill out. Like she don't need all these goddamn teddy bears and whatnot, I don't know, that kind of just popped into my head, but I didn't think at the time like, oh, he's simping. I just kind of felt like he is
just doing too much.
Yeah, he's kind of crossing a boundary. Like, I appreciate the things that you're doing, but then I kind of felt like he was just going overboard. Like he looked at it as, oh, okay, I know how I can get her. I can, spoil her daughter. And that just made me feel uncomfortable.
TJ said, yeah, that's simping. That's the definition of simping.
Yeah. Now that she said that, I'm like, ooh.
I know a guy. Now you're thinking of a guy.
So basically, simping starts when it gets corny.
There you go.
Yeah.
When shit gets corny. That's great, Diddy.
That's okay. When does stuff get corny? Like, can it go from exciting, new, fresh, mutual to all of a sudden corny? How do guys slip up and turn shit from potential to corny?
If you're
All
not
right,
a
let me give you an
flashy
example.
person, sorry.
Go ahead, Amy.
If you're not a flashy person and they do like flashy shit for you, I think that's corny. Like that clearly shows that they don't even know who you are. Like I was with somebody that would buy like expensive shit and I'm not really into that. So to me, I was like, that shit is annoying and it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you any points because I'm not into that anyway.
Okay, that's a good point. How about you? What'd you say, Diddy?
No, I was gonna say it kind of crossed the line, man. You know, like corny is it's a feeling. Like for instance, corny when you see it when you're not corny. For instance, like let's say a man thinks his joke is funny, and let's say I come on here with a joke and I hit it out the park, right? But I got such a good reaction, I'm not used to getting somebody to laugh like that. I continue on beyond this point of funny, and it's a point in comedy where it's like funny, and you extend the joke too far, and it goes to corny. Like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the same thing. It goes from nice gesture to I appreciate that to like, okay, this is too much. But then it goes into creep mode. That's where Shannon says, like, dude got into like, because now you don't know, like you a little too close to my daughter. Now it's kind of weird. It's weirding me out now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sliding scale. You got to know when it's enough and when to pull back. Feel me?
I got you. I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna ask this to Diddy first because it's just what I'm gonna do. Is Diddy? We've all done it. When was the last time you simped?
Oh man, shit, like 3 weeks ago. Like, listen, man. I'm like this. If you come out with me, I'm gonna make sure you good. That's just who I am.
No. There's difference between being accommodating and being courteous and simping. You know the difference. Don't front. You know the difference.
I'm not. I mean, that's the difference, man. I want to get into this box with you, but I'm not really a simp though. Like I provide, but I'm not a simp. Like it makes
in life. I'm like in life. I'm not talking about
in life.
That's what I'm talking about in life. I don't mean last time. I mean last week. I mean you can say when you was
I'm not saying
17 years old, 18 years old. I'm just saying in life.
College. I would say college. I did some simp stuff. My first time I fell in love, you know what I'm saying, I didn't really know how to handle the love module. I think I crossed into the simping zone. They used to call me Mr. Simpins for a second. You know how to get rid of that title. But I think that was a learning process for me, you know, learning myself. But like I said, I don't knock dudes who do it, but it's just you got to watch that sliding scale so you fall on the other side.
Yeah. Let me bring up, I'm gonna answer, but I want to bring up the one we all love, the one we kept been waiting for, the mouth of the South Bronx, Miss on the Block with Jen.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, since you answered the question, I'll go ahead and answer the question too. Last time I can remember simping, I probably was maybe 19 years old, and it was this is gonna be bad. I met this girl at a club, right? And she just happened to tell me in conversation where she worked. Like 2 days later, I showed up at the job with like flowers and shit like that. And she was like, it was so embarrassing. She was like, what are you doing? Why? He's like, why would you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I saw it in a movie or I thought it'd be romantic. She was like, it ain't. This is creepy and weird. You come into my job just on the GP with you know, without just even like having a discussion about you coming here. And yeah, needless to say, I learned my lesson from that. And I've been real selective with the people I do that extra shit with since then. So that's the last time I simped. And it was simping, believe me. I know every definition of, because she I guess she wasn't interested. You know, she wanted the drinks that I was providing at I think it was like an 18 and over club, or it was some club that, but I know I was buying her something to drink, and I might have been 21 then, and I remember I was buying her drink, and she was drinking them down and taking them down, and like, that was a trick and a shrimp and a sip. So it was just like, and then I showed up at the job, and she was like, "Yeah, this ain't the move," and I was just like, "Oh, okay, my bad. All right, well, let me just like crawl away on my belly." All right, Jen, what do you got to say on the subject?
Go ahead, Jen.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, darling.
What's up,
Hi,
Jen?
ladies. I'm a little hoarse because I had 2 intense shows back to back. Yesterday and the day before. So I'm like, I wanted a chill day. I didn't want to go live. So I was like, let me go hang out with the peoples at Dames. So I'm like, I need I can't have a lot of action today. My head is spinning. But it's good to see you guys. I love being here. I'm laughing at Don Levon because he said I simped today about an hour ago. So did you get 2 hot dogs from 7-Eleven instead of one?
Seriously.
He's that simp today. What you simp with? 2 hot dogs instead of one?
Exactly.
Well, listen, SLM, Simp Lives Matter. Okay. I don't want y'all coming for the simps. What are y'all doing right now? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that a lot of men are clueless. They really are. Like, I always used to think that men were very well versed in dating and wanting women. It seems like they're only well versed in wanting booty, right? They don't really know how to navigate to get to the booty, it seems. So they're doing either too much or not enough or holding back because they don't want her to think a certain thing. And that's why I said earlier, like, guys get confused because they'll hear one woman say, why'd you come to my job with flowers? And now it's etched in their brain, don't ever take a woman flowers because they don't like that. So my question was, Dame, that woman, was she attractive? The one that
she was bad. She was a bad. I wouldn't. She was bad.
Right. So when you're bad, you're used to like a lot of men being on you. But I bet if she wasn't bad, she would have fell in love and ran to her friends and said, oh my God, I only told him where I worked and he brought me flowers, girl. So it depends on who you're dealing with. Because women that are bad have a different experience in the world. We're constantly like getting attention and getting this and getting that. So it's like, how are you gonna impress me? Yeah, I know, guys say that all the time. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like we're like assholes about it, or maybe we are sometimes, but it's just when you're constantly getting a thing, it takes more to impress us. But if she wasn't bad, she would have wanted to marry you. She would have been like, Mama, I met my husband.
Yeah. Sorry, Shannon, I just muted just because we're getting feedback. Anytime you want to talk, just unmute yourself and jump right in. But we're getting feedback from your line. So go ahead.
I was gonna say she probably wasn't all that impressed with the flowers. Something tells me that if you had taken her a pair of Giuseppe's or some red bottoms, or a Chanel bag.
Now you simping.
Yeah, now you're doing way more than simping. You tricking at that point.
Well, but I'm saying, the point is, a lot, because I hear that from a lot of women. Oh, he opened my door. That's gay. Or he got me flowers. But see, you wouldn't have that sentiment if it was something that you think is valuable as a woman. So like I'm saying, if you had taken her a pair of red bottoms, something that she would deem valuable, she probably would have been like, oh my God, she might have fallen in love with you. But, a lot of women, they don't see the value in flowers. They think that's, oh God, that's so cheesy. That's so corny, and it's the same thing when men open doors for women. Oh, that's so cheesy. That's so corny. And it kind of turns men into these assholes who don't want to fucking open doors or pull out chairs, when the most of us really do appreciate that.
And
do you only appreciate it from a guy? Hold on, Jen. Do you only appreciate it from guys that you find attractive?
That's not true. That is not true. I'm
just asking.
No, I appreciate, even if I'm not, uberly attracted to you, and, I decide to go out on a date with you because, I just think you cool, like Jazz was saying, I don't have to be like, damn, he's fine. But there still might be something about you that draws me to you, that wants me, that leads me to want to be in your company. So yeah, if you take me out and you open my door, you pull out my chair, I appreciate that, because it tells me that you're a decent person, attracted to you or not, thinking about sex with you or not, relationship or not, you're a decent person.
Okay. What are you gonna say, Jen?
I was gonna say, you see, I don't know who that is, but Terrence Johnson says, so only bring ugly girls flowers.
No.
And that's how simple it is to put something in a man's mind. And I don't know if he's trolling or playing, but I'm just saying in
Terrence
general.
is TJ, my cousin.
Oh, hey TJ. I'm saying, man, here's something, they run with it. Like we hear it even with feminism, like you wanted equal rights, well, open your own door. It's such a small nudge to change the man's, you know what I mean, point of view about women. It's really, really corny. You know,
thank you.
But I'm with Shannon. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you want, you should be opening doors anyway. Like you shouldn't be opening doors to get late. You should be opening doors because you have good manners, right? You say please, thank you, and opening doors is part of that, or pulling out chairs. Like that's just a decent human being. I wouldn't think anyone is simping that's doing that, no matter what they look like. No matter what.
This goes to a conversation, and to Jen's point, right? Like this goes to a point that Diddy and I, we have conversations about very frequently. I pay attention to, and I think people need to pay attention to the background of a person, right? So like before you took that young lady flowers, my question, if you were my brother, my son, you know what I'm saying, my homie, like outside of her being pretty, like if she doesn't come from a 2-parent home like you do, then there's certain shit she's not accustomed to. So that will be overwhelming. Like if she come from a real bitter home, or like y'all know, I ain't getting into all the stereotypes and all that shit that people grow up listening to, then people don't know how to receive certain things, and they call it simping. Whereas I just personally feel that we need to do a little bit more due diligence sometimes. And I don't give a crap, even as teenagers, like you need to know, like if that person's parent is in prison, like I'm not saying that's a bad kid or anything else like that, but most likely their fucking responses are going to be trauma responses. So instead of them enjoying the flowers, that shit triggers something inside of her. And so
this dude's stalking me.
Exactly. And so we have to look at like the root shit of where that really came from. It didn't come from them flowers. It did not. It came from something else. So I just think a lot of times, like yes, thank you, Shannon. So I'm just saying, I think that we need to just do a little bit more due diligence, have a little bit more emotional intelligence, stop with the reactionary, like you hit a knee, you kick. And it's like, just chill. Just like, let's really pay attention to the surroundings of the land. So I'll say, like, my friends who come from 2-parent homes are a lot different than my guy friends or men that I've talked to, that their mother was like some strong, dominant force. Like their expectations of women is different. Like guys who come from 2-parent homes, like, what? Like, open the door. What are you talking about? Like, come on now. Like, no, we're not doing that. So it's just certain things. It's not called simping. It's just called etiquette. It's just etiquette. And that's just what.
Shout out my man Taz. First time coming to the show. We appreciate you showing some love. Thank you so much. What's up, buddy? What's going on with you, buddy?
I like what he said.
Who?
Beezy in the chat. He said it's simple. Simping is in the eye of the
beholder.
I
100% agree.
There you go.
100% agree.
And also when guys are like, again, I love y'all, but y'all are simple. You see a woman, you're like, flowers. You don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, Jazz made a great point. There are some people that you may trigger them. You don't know. Maybe she's allergic to flowers. Maybe the last guy that beat her got her flowers. Maybe she doesn't like flowers. Maybe she doesn't like things that grow and get pulled out the ground. And, you don't know. So you have to do a little research. That was a little forward, but guys may just think, oh, it's going to be romantic, but it's a little forward. It's the same thing as if I met you and you told me where you worked and I brought you a pot roast for lunch. Doesn't matter how attractive I am. You're going to call your boy and say, this girl just brought a pot roast to my job.
How y'all feel about that?
How do you feel? You meet a girl, she's attractive, and you're like, hey, where do you work? And then you're like, oh, I work on that. And then, on Wednesday, there's a pot roast. Hey, Mr. Such and Such, come downstairs. You have a delivery. And it's a pot roast.
Well, hold on. First off, I'm going to respond to that, but always got to show some love to Haran. Man in 60s to 90s R&B was founded on sipping. Go back and listen to some of them classics, Just Overboard and Read the Room. Women love romance as long as the energy is mutual. I agree. So let me answer that. It's weirder. Anything that's traditionally men aren't used to. Men are not used to women showing up with gifts during the courting phase. We are the cat, you are the mouse. So it's supposed to be us chasing you. It is weird and it's off-putting, and it breaks our brain when the roles are reversed. When a woman is, well, to older men, there's some youngsters out there who got it ass backwards, but to cats like me back then, it is weird when the roles are reversed, or if the power dynamic shifts and all of a sudden I'm the mouse and you the cat. It's just not, my brain doesn't function like that. And men of a certain age back in the day, our brains just didn't function as to we are the person who's being pursued. It's always been, I must pursue you, I must show value, I must show interest. That's how you get women, not you sit back and women come to you. Like, women can come to you, but not the women you want come to you. The women you don't want come flock to you, but the women you want, you have to actively pursue. That's the way I grew up, and that was my understanding of courtship back when I was younger.
I just think
yeah, that's definitely changed with the younger people.
Like, do a tiny bit of inventory. Safe. Like, it's very simple to have a conversation. Hey, do you like flowers? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite color? Like, do a little bit of research before you take anybody anything. How about that? Whether they're big, tall, short, fat, ugly, whatever. Like, do a little research.
Yeah, I get that.
I want a guy to ask me, like, what's your favorite car?
Here you go. Here you go. So it ain't about
your bag.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
All right, Amy, we want to hear what you got to say on the subject. Do you agree, disagree with anything that people been saying as far as, like, what about if a man showed up with flowers, you just met him, what have you, to your job? Is it endearing and a possible suitor, or if this motherfucker needs to be put on the do not allow list at the front desk?
Well, it depends on how our interaction was before then. Like, okay, if the date didn't go well, what the fuck you sending flowers for? Right?
No, you just met him. I'm gonna tell this. I'm gonna read the situation. We had just met the night before at a club. I think I had to be 21 because I think I bought her a couple of drinks. We danced and stuff like that. She even gave me her number. We were just talking. We just kind of figured, where but we didn't make plans to go on another date or anything like that. It was just like she told me where she was, and I was like, this chick is bad. Maybe I'll brighten her day and bring her some flowers to the job. And it was just not received.
If the interaction was okay, that's okay with me. But like,
okay,
if it didn't go well and you show up with flowers, that's the thing. Like, flowers is pretty simple. I don't think that's a big deal unless the shit just didn't go well, like it didn't end well. Then that would be weird. But I think that really comes with, like, you have to get to know the person. Like, I'm not super flashy. So you showed up with some expensive shit. That's going to kind of be weird to me if we're not, like, in a relationship. If we're in a relationship, that's different. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of simple, so flowers is kind of sweet if we were feeling each other. But if the night ended like, no, I didn't give you my number, and somehow in the evening you found out where the fuck I worked and you showed up, that's different. Like,
the funny thing, I think women give confusing signals, like you said, Jen, all the time. Because how many of y'all saw the movie Hitch, Will Smith's movie Hitch? Everybody saw the movie Hitch?
A while back.
Okay. He met Eva Mendes at a bar, found out that she was a reporter for this thing, what have you. The next day, he has a courier come with a walkie-talkie, wetsuit, and invited her to to go ride jet skis on the harbor with him. And everybody was like, her friends was like, go, do it, whatever, whatever. He did. And then I think she said no, and then he persisted or whatever, and then she finally relented and did it, and it turned out horribly. But it was like, when I've watched that with a group of people and I watched it in movies, their women were just, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, look at him go. Oh, what, oh, I wish women would do that kind of stuff for me. Yada, yada. He really thought outside the box. I heard that a lot. Oh, he was really inventive and thought out the box and blah, blah, blah. That is exactly what a lot of dudes do, and it comes off as weird. Do y'all want, out of the box thinking? Do y'all want the grand gestures that kind of put a spotlight in front of you, in front of your friends and colleagues? Or do y'all don't? Like, that's the confusing part. It can get real confusing. Or do y'all just want it from dudes that y'all find good looking?
See, you keep using this word, y'all, right? I'm
talking women, y'all.
Right, but we are so complex. Amy keeps saying, I'm not a flashy girl. Don't bring me all that. And I'm like, shit, the grander the better. Bring bells and whistles and everything shiny. But every girl is different. You know what I mean? So, like, know who you are talking to.
There's only two choices in that. Either you like it or you don't. So it's a 50-50 shot. And I'm seeming like that's where the confusion comes. It's like, so I got to roll the dice. It's something I want to do. I think it'll be great.
Talk
and if she's into
woman.
it, yeah,
use emotional intelligence and talk to that woman. Because like Shannon said last week, her thing was like, like touch, and she can't get to know you until y'all didn't, and I'm like, shit, I may accidentally be in love with your ass before we consummated the relationship because of just different shit you've already done for me. Our languages are different. It doesn't mean that like she just clapped at she wants something flashy, but at the same time, like, listen to what she's saying and what she needs, right? It's gonna be different than what I need. Because if you keep rubbing and touching on my ass, get the fuck out of here.
So my thing is like, I'm not really, I love flowers. I love flowers. I love flowers. I wouldn't consider myself to be flashy, but let's say you said, let's go to Italy or let's go to.
She take it way.
I'm down. I am down. I'm down. Or if you say, because I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan, if you say I've got front row tickets to Ariana Grande, I am so.
Why does it have to be front row? Why can't they just be tickets?
Because I can get those. I can get just tickets.
Okay. You can that's some confusing shit.
I'm just talking shit. It doesn't have to be front row, but I mean stuff like that. So I'm not necessarily like flashy, but there are certain things that you can say and do that I'm just gonna be like, hell yes, like this guy he's on point,
But the gestures mean more. The gestures mean more if you like took the time to get to know me. So like, yeah. I think that's the biggest point. Like, I love football. Like, my husband knows if he buys some football tickets, he's gonna get some pussy all weekend. Like, that's a guarantee, right? So
but
like,
shouldn't he get it without the tickets?
He can. I'm just saying, like,
I'm just kidding.
He knows that that's what I like. Like, he knows that that's gonna be something that he knows I would rather that than buy me some red bottom shoes that I'm gonna wear once in 6 months. Like, you have to know the person that you're dealing with. Like, those gestures only go so far if it's speaking to them. Like she said, the love language. A good smash in a football game, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't need the red bottom shoes. I'm not saying all the time. I'm just giving an example. Like, you have to know what you're dealing with.
And I get it. And
can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Let me jump in. Dame, I understand men are problem solvers, so I get the do you like it or not? It's yes or no. Do you want the flowers or don't you want the flowers, lady? I get that. The problem is that that's not how women are. It's like what Jazz said on my show. Women are not a monolith. Just because we have boobs doesn't mean we want a bouquet of roses, you know what I mean, on the first date. We are not a monolith, and it's that easy. In the same way, you would research anything else, buying a car, watching your favorite football team, you know what I mean, going to your barber. You're not sitting in any chair, are you, Dane? You want that guy. The same way you put research in, talk to a woman. Women can be simple too. What do you like? What's your favorite color? What are you into? What's your favorite band, right? But you have to get to know her. You can't just say, well, I saw in a rom-com, they like flowers, so I'm going to get these things flowers because these things like flowers. I heard they do. I heard they like flowers, and I heard they like their doors open. No, we're not.
She deserves a round of applause at that.
Hold on. I'm not putting up the laugh track for that because hold on.
Let me give you an example of this guy I was talking to recently.
Right, though.
Let me tell you an example of a guy I was talking to recently. He is a fisherman. Like that is his thing. Okay. He lives to fish. We've been texting and then we went DMs and texting. Then I'm like, I'm just going to WhatsApp him. I want to see his face. I want to see, I want to see his voice and how his eyes I want to see him face to face. I call him. He's like a deer in the headlights. So I'm like, womp. I'm giving the first womp, right? And then he's like, hey, we got to get together, blah, blah. And I was like, sure, great. What do you have in mind? He goes, well, I go fishing 4 times a week. So I was thinking I could pick you up and you could come fishing with me, like just lay out on the boat. I don't want to fucking go fishing with you, sir. I don't like it. I don't want to be on a boat for 4 or 5 hours while you put some stank fish into a cooler. That's not my thing. And it seemed like he couldn't plan a date beyond fishing. And I was like, what else do you do? Like, how long you be there? He was like, well, if someone asks me how long I'm be there, I already know they don't want to do it. I was like, bingo. Like, it's like he basically wanted company for what he already does. You get it?
Yeah, I understand.
He wanted company for what he already does, not even considering what I like, whether I wanted to have my hair in that heat at 95 degrees in the humidity with the fit. I mean, he didn't even research. And to this day, he's still trying to call me and text me. And I'm like, dude, I'm good. Like, I feel like, and then I would give suggestions. I'm like, okay, he's one of them big dumb jocks. Fine. He looks good. He'd be a great smash. So let me throw out some suggestions to this guy, right? So I was like, hey, there's this bubble run out here in Vegas. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Okay, great. There's this other bouncy house for adults. It's adults only. You get your little drink on. There's a huge bouncy house. That'll be a lot of fun. It's not formal. Go out there with a ponytail and jogging pants and hop around. And I don't know about that. But I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm gonna hit the strip. You want to come out, hang out? He was like, well, no, because I got to go fishing in the morning. But if you want to come fishing with me, I'll pick you up. I'm like, never mind. Womp, womp, womp. You're out. So it's like there was no effort unless it's something he wanted to do. And that already told me this would be a horrible relationship. I'd be staring at him in the house, resenting him, and he would be leaving with his little fish box every morning. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so but hold on, I get it. I hear everything you're saying, and I agree. Women are not a monolith. There are wide variations on interests and experience and ideas on the way things go. But then there are certain things that are just a yes or a no. Do you like flowers? Yes. Do you don't like flowers? No. There's no certain things that in dating are just a yes and a no. Do you like anal? Yes. Do you like anal? No. There's just certain things that are just a yes and a no.
See, so but this is where y'all dropped the ball because I could not be into anal, but the right man can get me into anal. You can't think black and white with women. I don't like flowers. This is why I don't like flowers.
Then you would know. The guy wouldn't bring you flowers.
Right, but you'd have to ask me first to know that. Yeah, I'd rather have an orchid in a little pot that's going to last maybe 3 months. I don't like seeing dying flowers. They're morbid. They look miserable. Dead roses look horrible. So I don't want flowers. Bring me an orchid in a little pot. It's going to last for 3 months. I'll think about you for 3 months every time I see the orchid versus thinking about you when these things are dying and I got to take them out the thing and throw them in the garbage and find somewhere to put the vase. See, everybody's different. Everybody's different, but you just have to ask. You gotta be like, you want it or not? Are you gonna take this in your ass or not? I don't know. Do I want it? I may. I don't know. Do I have time to think about this?
And just
like and subscribe. For anybody who hasn't liked or subscribed, make sure you do. And we do this shit every week. So like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you can get alerted when we do this stuff. I know I don't do that say enough. So if there's any ninja watchers out there that haven't subscribed to the channel, you're fucking up.
You're fucking up.
And get unfucked.
I guess I'm so weird because I don't know why, but I like seeing flowers die. I do.
See?
I do. I love it because it's just this whole transition. It's just, and I take pictures, and I don't know, maybe it's the artist in me, but I just love seeing, I just like seeing that happen.
Yeah.
Everybody, men do that with sex too. Let's go. Men do that with sex. They think that the thing that the ground and pound they did with the ex, that the new woman likes that. You have to learn people. Stop being lazy. Learn people like you learn football and cars, and learn women. You're much better off when you learn the woman that you're with. She's like an instrument. You're not just gonna grab a guitar and know how to play a guitar, are you? You have to learn that guitar. An electric guitar is gonna be different than a bass, etc. Learn that woman. A lot of guys come into relationship with it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and you're looking at them while you're in bed, and you're like, "What the fuck is that? I don't like. This is not cool." Okay,
like, everybody don't want their booty.
Okay. Look, like I said, we're talking about flowers, and look at my dumb ass. I turned it into sex. You know, we need to stop. I need to go to fuck up. I need to mature.
Like this. Don't go get off my nipple.
I need to mature. I need to mature. How can I turn flowers into anal? I don't. You know, that's lack of maturity on my part.
Flowers into anal. What is
I mean, it's just like, I mean, I don't know where my mind goes sometimes, but I apologize to anybody who's offended. No, I don't.
So I have a question.
Go ahead. Please ask the men questions. Y'all ask questions. I'm asking all the questions.
Yes. Do women simp? Is there a such thing of like female simping? And if so, do you guys have any examples of when you felt like a woman was being super simpy and it was just like a turn off?
Diddy, you didn't talk. I'll go to later, but Diddy, you can go ahead and talk, Diddy.
You muted.
You muted.
Listen, I actually know, Shannon, to your point, if a woman extends any favor my way, I'm all for it, because it's not something that happens naturally all the time or whatnot. But I guess it depends on the level of attraction the woman. Like, she may not be the most attractive, and she know that you like deal with her, but not for real. So women will go to different heights, especially if they have a desired goal or whatever. They'll put themselves out there. They'll come with the cologne. They'll come with propositions for Vegas trips to go see Usher. At least I've been told that. So it's a lot of things that can happen, you know, for men. But I don't think it's a traditional role for women, because women are so uncomfortable with putting that forward, you know what I'm saying? That I think that sometimes they kind of hold back. But I think if she's not a very attractive girl, don't get a lot of attention, they'll definitely jump in them DMs and say what they need to say.
And so let me ask you this, Diddy. Let me ask you this. So you've got a woman, you know, you guys been talking. She knows your love language. She's not that hot, you know, but she's just pouring it on, man. She's like in simping lane. But then you got this other girl, okay, who's hella fine, and she does nothing for you. Doesn't even barely text you back. Who do you choose?
Ooh,
it's probably gonna sound shady.
I already know what you're going to say.
You're probably going to choose the one who's less available, to be honest with you, because that's your real focus. You know, the other person is like, she almost going to be like consolation prize. Like, thanks a lot. You know what I'm saying? But she's not the primary target. So she can be there and she'll just serve her purpose, just like a man will serve her purpose for a woman. She'll just be that kind of person for you. But she can't buy her way into the primary target, because your preferences are your preferences, your likes are your likes. So once you see what you really feeling, you can't change what your heart and what your spirit feels. It's just gonna naturally take what it wants. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna still probably pick the person who's the most toxic for me. But unfortunately,
excellent.
Just telling the truth.
Excellent, Diddy.
That's good.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. So and that's okay. So I'll answer both questions that you asked. Yes, there was this one time when I was younger in my 20s, this girl was putting in work to get your boy. She was putting in work. I mean, she was sitting there seriously. Like, I remember somebody had backed into my car and broke my tail light, and I came to see her because she was, unfortunately, you know, Dame wasn't always a nice. I was a nice guy, but Dame was he could be an asshole too. like she was the chick I came to after the club. If I hadn't got anybody brought them home to smash, I just called up like, hey, I'm about to shoot through. And that's who it was. And she was trying to get out of that zone. So I remember one day somebody had backed into my car, smashed my rear view, my tail light. I pulled up to her house, whatever. In the morning, she came down. She's like, oh my God, somebody hit your car. I was like, yeah, it happened a couple of days ago. I'll get around to getting it. Like 3 days later, whatever, I call her up. It's, 2 in the morning, and I'm about to slide through. She had the tail light in the box waiting for me, saying, I want to show you I'm different than my other bitches. She had the tail lights in the box ready for me to get it installed and what have you. And don't get me wrong, I took the tail light and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But she didn't get no further and what have you. And it was just like, and it kind of like weirded me out, because I was just like, it is, because I started to feel like, man, maybe I'm really taking advantage of her. Maybe I know what's going on, but I'm just sitting up there just taking advantage of the situation. So maybe I need to pull back. So I started to like pull back to her. And then I think I got a girlfriend, and I just totally like stopped fucking with her altogether. But yeah, it was like she really, like, I'd never seen nothing like that. I mean, if I mentioned anything about food or that tail light, she just got that shit and made it happen, trying to show me that she was different. But I think what happened, she wasn't perceptive enough to realize that that's all it was, and that's all she didn't see her value enough to realize that, I wasn't the person who deserved to get all that shit. I was a dude who was out for myself and just being an asshole. So yes, woman simp for your boy.
I'm in tears.
You said what?
Not the tail light.
Yeah, the tail light. Seriously, that was crazy. And and the second thing, just like Diddy, of course, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go after the woman that you with, but smash the chick who's available, who's doing other stuff. That's what a young man is gonna do. That's what a guy's gonna do. That's just to keep it 100% funky with you guys. Because that's kind of the situation I was in with the chick I just described in the earlier story.
Mm-hmm.
I sat there and availed myself of all that she was willing to provide. And then the girl I was really like, that was like playing hard to get, finally I got, and she became my girlfriend, and I was cool off the other one.
Yeah. So that goes to the point that same thing I was just talking to my guy about earlier. We were having this very same conversation. So Shannon, great segue, because same conversation we were just talking about, and how I know some women who are great women. And I'm like, why are you single? Like, why are you still single? And so my guy suggested she tried too damn hard. She's trying too damn hard. She's putting herself out there way too hard. And men just, it's just too much. And I'm just like, well, is there such a thing? So for us to even talk about it in this degree, like putting it on women is one thing, but I think it's good for women to hear it on the other side as well. Because it's not okay to be taking that man a damn light, ladies. If his ass is hungry, he fine. He'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, ladies, if the dude only call you up late night, don't buy him a goddamn thing but a condom. Don't buy shit. Not a goddamn thing. And now the thing is, I got a daughter, so I got to put her up on game of all the scandalous shit I used to do in case she game goofy. I'm like, in case she comes up as game goofy, I need to put her up on all the shit. I need to be like, dudes say this, they do this, and they mean this. Don't believe none of that shit. So that's my penance right now, is to have a pretty little girl that's gonna be an attractive woman that I'm gonna have to make sure dudes she don't fall into the bullshit.
Because the bullshit.
That's my penance.
That shit's hilarious. That was hilarious because there is just like, if someone told me that they got rear-ended, for me to go get them a fucking headlight, that would just be the last thing. That's the furthest. I'd be like, oh shit, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like, But to go get the headlight, hell fucking no. That is hilarious.
Like, don't even ask about my damn AAA. I ain't even got that for you.
Okay. Like, damn.
Like, and I hope she's not watching because she knows who she is. If you're watching, I'm sorry. You were a what's called, but I don't know if she's watching. Whatever. We're not that big yet. But if you ever see this on a replay, if we get big enough to where you see this on a replay, you were a good person. I was an asshole. I apologize for being an asshole back in them days.
You hit it with the disclaimer. I can't. I can't.
You know? But the funny thing is, it's like a lot of women justified it and enjoyed my assholeness. So it was like it was no incentive for me to change it. So that's what it is. It was like I was both. I was the simp who would like, oh my God. And that's like I said, that was the thing that's hard a lot of times for young cats is like, because there's a little bit of both. I don't care how hard you work, there's a little bit of both in you. There's the simp who wants to go all out and show the woman that he's interested. And then the guy who wants to sit back there and just let and receive what's ever been thrown at him without consideration of the other person's feelings. So that's something you got to decide. You got to kind of decipher and kind of work through when you're young, because there are consequences and repercussions.
So I'm gonna say this. As a heterosexual woman, gentlemen, if a woman is going to get headlights for you, tail lights for you, giving you money, cash apping your ass $2,000, $4,000, that is a big sign to the rest of us women. Your dick game is something serious, and we probably should stay away from your ass. So I'm just saying, for the rest of the women that's out there, run from his ass if a woman gets out of her bed to go get his ass a headlight.
All right, hold on a second. I want to just answer my man Tez. It was earlier, Tez, but we're about to end it pretty soon. So it's I'm not going to open it up right now at this time. If you come back to our next show Tuesday, I put the link up there early that you could have jumped on earlier, but we're about to end it soon. So if you got a question, you said what? All right. Whatever. All right, whatever.
If he cams up.
If you cam up. That's the question. That's one thing that you got to do with me, and I think it will.
Yep.
Hold on.
Talking to no box.
Hell no.
All right.
I get enough of that on my show. Lord, everybody's in a box.
All right, you got it. I don't know how to pin that shit. Like, I'm new to this shit. I don't usually like. I put it in there. Can you click on it?
Well, we wait on him to see if he's gonna show his face. While we wait on him.
Yeah, he can click on it because I just did.
Yeah. Okay. I think women, unfortunately, we're raised for simp life. We're raised like that. We're raised to, think we have to be the ride or die and we have to cater to men. So I think we're constantly in simp mode. We have to accept them, whether he's broke, he's ugly, he's fat, he's sick. We got to take him in. We got to be nurturers. And so I think we live in simp mode. But I notice I've had more success when you treat men like they ain't shit. I'm just being honest. The tail light, bringing the tail light, you know what I mean? Making sure you're the one that's there and you want to show him you're different from the other bitches. It doesn't work. Men are warriors and conquerors and hunters and they like that hard thing. They like
you like this hard shit and it's not easy to capture. Good luck on your hunt, baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jen, I have a question. Do you think it's generational though? Because I see a lot of, what do you call them? Gen Zers. They're like the men, they're the guys, they're very accustomed to being taken care of. And the young women, they're very accustomed to being like, oh, I'm Miss Independent. I got my own. I can get him where he needs to go. What do you think? Do you think it's a generational thing?
I think it is a generational thing. And, I was saying the other day, I don't know where we're headed because the next generation is exactly how you said. Like the men are expecting this whole, 50-50 or even 75%, or how you going to hold me down? What you going to do for me? And the women are becoming more and more independent. So I'm like, I don't know. The future looks bleak for dating. Like I feel bad for these kids that are out there now. But I'm just like, no, you can't cater to a man. They're just not built to be catered to. They'll run you over. They will run you over. They're not built for that. They're just not.
Yeah, it's a whole different world now. I mean, like simping is and like all that stuff is a whole nother level because everything is now international. Like I said, if you a good looking chick living in the deepest part of Kentucky, there's like a German billionaire who sees you on Instagram and is ready to just open the world wide open for you.
Yep.
So that the expectation has just gone through the roof. You know, they're like, hold on a second. You trying to take me to Applebee's and, you know, Eric von Hechendarken is going to fly me out to the Swiss Alps for a week? You out your goddamn mind.
It's funny that men are like, oh, you know, like the passport bros and all of that. Not to get into
hey, dang, what was his name again?
Eric von Hechendarken.
He did
that. I was saying that the men, you know, the men are talking about leaving the country, fleeing the country for women that are more docile, but the men here aren't up to par for what the women have access to now. Like you just said, it's like these guys, like before, you know, the athletes and the celebrities, they were something that was untouchable. Now these athletes and celebrities are in our DMs on a regular. You know what I mean? It's not like back in the day. So now you're competing. You're a regular guy out of high school or out of college. You're competing with that athlete that's in her DMs, right? Because now everybody has access to everybody. So that's who you're competing with. So it's I don't know. It's going to be very interesting the next 10 years.
And that's why guys feel like that's why simping, quote unquote, simping has reared its head again, because guys feel like they have to go to these extremes in order to compete and get your attention. They feel like just the whole, I like you, would you like to go? It's like, you know what? I know I just met you. I know there's, you know, 8,000 people in your DMs, but I need to just go over the top and just show you I'm the man that you should be rocking with, even if you show no interest in them. You know, so can you blame guys for simping nowadays, considering what they have to go up against?
Hey, SLM, Simple Lives Matters. Keep simping, y'all. Stay strong.
Yeah, women, of course. Women want to eat that shit up. They want to use you until the real guy they into get his shit straight. Like he tripping. Let me go on this date with Ralph, even though Ralph ain't my type. He ain't getting nothing. He ain't gonna see no part of nothing.
Not Ralph.
But Ralph got the bag. Ralph is cool. He likes me. I can walk all over Ralph. He'll drive me to the airport.
If your name is Ralph, it's a hard test.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's how people are. Like certain names, like I think, like when I meet a guy with a corny name, I'm like, I don't want to guy that name for the rest of my life.
I tell my daughter that all the time. Like, names are so important. Like, if his last name is Jenkins, run for the hills. Jenkins, run.
Man,
didn't hear your name, Jenkins.
I dropped the link for Taz. He didn't jump on.
Yeah, because Jan put some smoke to that ass, as she should. If you can't cam up, don't come on.
Yeah, no, that's especially if you're new. Like if you're brand new, Taz, you could cam up. So then click on that link, that StreamYard link.
You know what? We'll keep it up for a minute. Anybody on here wants to cam up can feel free to click on the link, but you got to cam up. Shannon, you're getting the feedback, Shannon. Thank you. But yeah, so anybody, any takers? Because let me read this. We miss anything in the chat? People say that we pass the chat up sometimes.
No, we did good tonight on the chat. Everybody.
Okay.
Same good.
But I'm surprised Tristan haven't been.
Tristan,
I'm surprised Tristan haven't been more active. I am the universe's #1 simp. That's what Tristan says right now.
He did. I was like, hey.
Way to go, man. All right. So
yeah, but I think simping still really does go back for men based on just knowing who the woman is, who you're targeting, because you guys are hunters and we've already said that, right? Just knowing who your target audience is. And then closing, well, I'm a salesperson. So like capturing that woman's attention and heart is based on her, right? So I think that's very important that people need to do. It's just like, just have emotional intelligence. Like Jen said, y'all fucking research everything else. Y'all research cars. Y'all research fucking iPhones. Y'all research new apps, this, that, the other. What is that? Fantasy football. Fuck. Y'all research everything. But some pussy that you want to be with for real, you don't want to research. Oh, these things like this. Here, thing, you like this. It's like, man, come
Hold
on.
up. All right.
80.
Hold on. See, I shouldn't even said that. That's my dang. I just get around y'all and I just lose all sense. Like, I'm a professional man. Like, people look at me with reverence. I get on these things and I turn into a fucking 18-year-old. What the fuck is wrong with me? All right. So
right? This is our playground.
So
no, but that's a great point, Jess, because I feel the same way when it comes to tricking. Men will spend more money on their watch, more money on their wheels than they're willing to spend on the pussy. You know, they'll spend $1,500 on some tires, but when it comes to the pussy, they only want to spend $50. The fuck out of here.
Well, that watch gonna last longer. You're gonna get a lot more enjoyment out there watching that pussy. I'm sorry.
Fuck your watch. Fuck your watch.
I mean,
Wow.
the
Damn, I
price
should have
of
made my orgasms last longer than 10 seconds.
But that's why y'all get treated the way y'all do. That's why we take the and kick y'all to the curb. That's why, because we know y'all not invested. So we're gonna get what we can while we can. And that's when you go into contacts Roof Chris and Fogo de Chao in Hawaii. That's why you go into contacts under those names and don't get mad.
I mean, but
that's
we would.
Why y'all don't get posted either. You don't get posted.
We would, and I think the intention a lot of us is that a lot of guys are, I should say a lot of them, I'm out of that situation, is to get into these real serious situations. But I feel like a lot of roadblocks get thrown in our way. You know, who are we? You know, seriously, it's like, how do we know what is too much? You say to research and invest and research and invest and what have you. At what point do we not look like old boy from that show You? If we invest too much, if we know all the shit you into, you be like, you like that dude on You, that show. You about to
you're exaggerating to take it away. Don't exaggerate to take away. It's as simple as, what's your favorite color? How hard is that? Do you have a favorite flower? Do you like ice skating? What's your favorite food? I ask guys that all the time. What's your favorite food and music? You can plan a myriad of dates just by finding out someone's favorite food and their favorite music. It's so simple. It's a lot more simple than fantasy football. It's a lot more simple than fixing a transmission. It's simple. What kind of music do you like? What kind of food do you like? It's so simple. It ain't
all
tricky.
right, we got my man Tez. He came
What's
out.
going on, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
Amazing.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Let me give you the round of applause, the customary round of applause so we get the people. Hold on.
Jen made him go put a t-shirt on, go in the booth.
Man,
Jen made him go in the booth.
I'm telling you, I had to do my full setup. I'm trying a new setup. He's like, man, you got to cam up. I'm like, oh man.
Let me show you.
Well,
Jen.
welcome.
Exactly.
We're glad to have another male energy because we're getting estrogen out up in this piece.
Man, it's just an interesting conversation that y'all having because, like, dang, bro, I done been on both sides of the playing field. I done been the simp. I done been the asshole. And I'll be honest, the asshole got me a lot more of what I wanted than the simp dude. Because I really honestly believe that when a man simps, a woman don't respect it as much, especially depending on who it is. Like if you know she ain't interested, and this is what I tell brothers all the time, go where your time is not wasted. Like if you know you wasting your time, she ain't texting you back, she ain't hitting you back when the DM is on red all the time, don't waste your time. Because that used to be me. I remember doing them things, buying flowers and writing love notes, and she ended up hooking up with my partner that didn't even want to be with her. So as you start learning more and more as a man, bro, you like hearing everything that the women panelists had. As a man, you start really just getting desensitized to it. It's almost like I'm gonna do what I do. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Now that could be cold, but that's how a lot of men are now, because when you get so used to rejection, it's like, okay, what do I need to do to change my strategy up? So that's why men always have a negative outlook when it comes to simps, because simps, they'll do anything not to get rejected. Me, I have to take this rejection on to the next, and you just learn from it. So that's why me personally, simping is, I agree with what somebody said. It is in the eye of the beholder, but at the same time, most men understand simping has a line. It's courting and then it's simping. If I give you my full check and I've only known you for a week, I'm gonna think that's in the simping range. I can't say that that's courting because I don't even know you, and I'm giving you my full paycheck because I like you. So it's not a muddy water. I think for some reason, a lot of the time, women might muddy these waters more than men, because like Dane was saying, it's so hard because every woman is different, but I have to go off of my own previous experiences as well. So Keisha might like flowers, Jeanette might not. Jeanette might want me to be an asshole, but Keisha might like a nice guy. So you have to start merging those things as close as you can and just figure out what gets what. But the simping, I don't think no man will ever respect it. Women, I really don't believe that y'all respect it. It's almost like, oh, all right, where Derek at? They don't got a job.
They want to take advantage. They want to utilize it. They would like Jen said, Simp Lives Matter, because they want they want the access to it. They want the access to it.
In a fight.
Yeah.
So the name of the show should be "The Nice Guys Finish Last."
We got a podcast called Nice Guys Finish Last, Good Guys Finish First. And we broke down the whole dichotomy of how that works. And it's so true. The guy that is the nice guy, he'll get ran over. He'll get physically, emotionally abused, and he'll stay because it's like, oh, I'm nice. My mother told me that you never should raise your voice. My mother told me that you should never get out of line. And it's like, but you can be a good guy and still buy flowers, but still don't take shit. It's about a balance. And simping throws the balance of that off. Because if I'm a guy that's willing to pay a woman's rent, and then you got my partner who ain't gonna pay your rent, but he'll treat you and try to show you what it takes to be the woman for him, what you would rather have? Free rent for 6 months, or a guy that teaches you, you know what, maybe I can do things differently in my life to where I don't have to be as stressed out as I am. So it puts it on the easier, what do you want? The easy road.
I need
See? The confusing part we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm spoiled.
I want to ask Amy something. Amy, you've been quiet for a minute. Historically, just want to, have you had more instances where the nice guy finished last? Because right now you were a great guy, so he finished first. He won it all. But I'm talking about previous, before Jerry. Did you have a instance to where it was like you never went for the bad boys, you never went for the assholes first, and then the nice guys last?
I was sitting here thinking, like, when you were saying, like, when you were young, you did stupid shit. And I was thinking about the girl with the tail light. I didn't buy a tail light, but I did some dumb shit to be the better bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, maybe he'll pick me. But I think that comes from like young desperation where you don't really understand what you're really bringing to the table. So you do things because you like the guy, So I know that I put myself probably out there for the wrong guy. But I think that's where that line is between, like, man, how many times we've said that, between the courting and what you should be doing and the simping. Like, there's a difference there, because you shouldn't really be doing, like, you should do all that shit for the person you're with. There should be no line as to what you won't do. But when you're just trying to be that, like you said, the girl was trying to be that bitch that you're going to pick, but really you just go be with the other one. I know when I was young, I probably did that stupid shit, but I didn't ever buy a taillight, so.
That shit wasn't cheap.
Nice guy thing? Can I respond to the nice guy thing?
Yeah.
And people are not going to like this dose of reality. But let me tell you what men do that are not the pick of the litter. They go nice guy mode. It's usually a short guy. It's usually a guy with a receding hairline. It's usually a guy that's not attractive. It's usually a guy that's not financially stable or financially well. Okay. They do this nice guy thing, right? That's the mode, because they don't achieve things, right? That whatever you want to call him, the alpha male, the guy that's getting picked all the time, right? They don't want to put that work in. So what they do is, I'm nice guy. And if you don't want me, something's wrong with you, evil lady, because you don't want me. So what I'm going to do is, I can't be the nice guy and get women. So I'm going to go asshole mode, right? But people forget, in between the nice guy and the asshole is the guy that's always getting chosen, right? Because he put the work in to look good, smell good, have money, pull up in the car, pull up in the right clothes. The guy in the middle is not worried about being nice or an asshole, because when he walks in, all the women want him. And that's what's left out of this nice guy conversation. I was the nice guy. No, nice guy is usually synonymous with, I'm short, I'm unattractive, my hair is jacked, no women really like me, but I'm being so nice. Why don't you like me? And they usually bait fish they can't catch, these guys. They think that they can choose women along the lines of the guy in the middle. You are not the guy in the middle. They don't bait fish they can catch, right? They'll come after a woman like me when I'm like, no, honey, you're too short. You don't have enough money. You're not attractive. I like your boy over there. What they do is try to turn the tables on me and be like, see, she want the asshole. No, I want the alpha. I want the tall guy. I want the attractive guy. I want the guy with the money. So what the nice guy does is, see, they don't like us because we're nice. You walk in there, okay? If your height's not right, let your wallet be right. If your wallet's not right, do you work out, okay? What do you look like when you walk in? Are you sweaty and short and dopey? Are you lazy?
Bars.
Okay, but this is the truth. This is the conversation that's not had with. But I've been nice all my life. Women don't want nice. Women want provider, protector. I'll get a puppy if I want nice. What am I going to do with a nice guy? I don't need a nice guy. I need a protector and a provider. Can you be either? You're both.
You know what you're going to do with a nice guy, Jen? Not you, but women are going to milk that shit for everything they can fucking get out of it. Yeah. So it's like, so women do want the nice guy, just like you said, simple lives matter, because you know what? They want the benefits that come along with it, with none of the headache. They want the dinners. They want the rent getting paid. They want the phone being paid. They want the pick up from the airports. They want to help them move furniture. They want them to do all that shit, and they ain't got to give up a piece of pussy to do it. They want the nice guys. They they create the nice guy, but so they can take advantage of it.
Yeah, no, but that's not gender. But that's not gender specific. That's a human condition.
No, because then she's gonna call the dude that's gonna drive by and drop some dick off and be on his way.
Facts, yeah, and that's what.
That's a human condition. Men do the same thing. The woman that's the most available, when they want to wet their willy, they're gonna call her, because the bad chick, he got to work for that. That's a human condition. That's not gender specific. I just don't like the word nice being thrown around against women, because it's usually said by men who are not chosen, who are not the attractive guy in the room. So they default They default to women don't want me because I'm nice. No, women don't want you because you're not attractive. You're not financially attractive. You're not physically attractive. Let's tell the truth if we're going to tell the whole truth. Let's have some church up in here today. Let's tell the whole truth. That you're nice or you're not attractive. Because there's a difference. There's a difference.
I mean, I can say, like, I can agree with that. But at the same time, okay, I go to the middle guy that you said. That middle guy is gonna have 7 of you. So is that cool?
Maybe, maybe not. Well, that's up to maybe not. But maybe not. And you know what? A lot of women are willing to put up with that, but that guy still wins, is my point. He's not walking in nowhere worried about, oh, she don't like me because I'm nice. Everybody is always looking at life and going at life from a defeatist mentality. She's not going to like me because I like the guy in the middle. I like the go-getter. I like the guy that walks in and says, everybody gonna want my ass, because that's how I walk around. That's how I like life. I don't like life from a defeatist point, like they're not gonna like me because I'm nice. Stop worrying about being nice and worry about being the guy that gets chosen.
Okay. It's hard because no, let me jump in real quick. I'll just get it. I got you, brother. Go ahead.
You will never see a fine guy saying, "They don't want me." Because
I want to say something to Tez. You know, just because a man has options doesn't mean that he's a bad man.
No.
Or it doesn't mean that he's not the right man. You know, actually, a lot of women do find that attractive if a man has options. And when he chooses her, that really solidifies the relationship. I don't want a motherfucker that don't got options, because I got options. I don't want a motherfucker that don't got options. And when listen, when I find a man who has options, that naturally, organically forces me to play my part and do what the fuck I gotta do.
Women all about pre-selection. They're all about that pre-selection. They want that pre-selected man that's already established their value. They want to fuck the winner of the race, not the guy at the starting line. I get it. Ooh. I get it. But it's just hard because I wish I could race. the guy is because it's hard because women will absolutely, when you get to a certain point, when the bad boy or the hot guy is kind of like that phase is fizzled out, the first thing women will say is, I want a nice guy. What do you look for, man? Oh, he wants to be nice. But come on now.
No. Women want, and that's why I say, and I don't blame y'all. In men's
it's defense, confusing.
No, I know that's what I
want the good guy.
I don't blame y'all.
We want the right guy, the good guy. Sorry, Jen. You guys confuse it.
The guy that's right for you. That's that whole point. You got to get to know your person. Like, it may not be what somebody else thinks is nice. It's what's right for you. I mean, somebody might say that my man is a little rough around the edges for them, but he's perfect for me. So I'm just saying, like, you got to find what's right for you and what works for you. So what I think is nice you might not think is nice, or you might not think is good, or what my husband does for a living might not be a provider for someone else, but you got to find what works for you. And I mean, that
men have to.
I totally agreed with Jen.
Men have to no matter what a man is in life. Men
Shannon, real quick.
Huh?
I said Shannon needs to mute herself. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Jen.
No matter where they are in life, men must. It is imperative that they work on being the best they can be. That is all you have control over. You have zero control over this woman's gonna like you, that woman's gonna like you, that woman likes flowers, this woman don't like flowers, this woman wants to, this woman likes short women, this woman likes tall men. The best advice you could give men is be the absolute best you can be, physically, financially, emotionally stable, and you will find the woman of your dreams. And if you run into a woman that doesn't accept the best of who you are, Not you coming in half-assed, like, why don't you like me? I'm nice. If you are at the best of who you are financially, physically, emotionally, and you meet a woman who doesn't appreciate that, it's easier for you to say, goodbye. You ain't it. I'm gonna go get with somebody who appreciates me at 100. But to do this sob story of women don't like nice guys. Women do like nice guys, but you have to have balance. You can't just be nice. You have to have balance, and that's what men aren't good at, is the balance. Because I don't want no woman wants a nice guy. We don't want a nice guy. What else can you do? What else can you do other than be nice? Can you protect me? Can you provide me? Do you own a Glock? Are you going to introduce anal to me? Are you going to rip my panties off? Are you going to love on me? It's like, what other than nice can you bring? And you men do the same thing. And I see women doing this more and more on YouTube. And it's usually the women that are out of shape and are not trying to be attractive. Nobody wants me. Because why don't know? Let's keep it real. Men don't want women like me. I cook and I clean. What other than cooking and cleaning do you do, lady? You can't be 250 pounds and cook and clean.
Talk, Jen.
You can't be 250 pounds and cook and clean, because after he finishes eating, he needs to look at something. He needs to look at a little something, right? Women do the same thing men do, but I'm so nice. Because a woman right now, let's say if she looked like, and I know people hate when I say this, but let's say the character Precious, right? She'll try to get a dame. Let's say Dame is single. She'll try to get a dame. She'll bring the tail light. She'll bring the pot roast. She'll be the nicest. She'll be the nicest woman Dame has ever met, right? Once Dame rejects her, she's going to go and start a little group of women that are nice but are not getting picked. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But I was so nice to him. I don't understand. And that's what men do. I was so nice to her. I don't understand. But what do you look like? What do you sound like? How's your stroke game? What's your conversation like? Because if all you are is nice, go visit your grandma. What are you trying to date me for?
I think too, as men and women, we have to know how to stay in our lane, you know. So if you out here looking like Precious, you need to go and you need to, your lane is men who like women who look like Precious, because they're out there. They are. There are a lot of men who love women who look like Precious. Okay.
Like Jen said, let's make sure you're the best of the women that look like Precious, because that increases your potential of getting that dude.
And you know what? Like Lizzo, she gets drug on the internet daily. And I'm just like, there are a lot of men who love women who are shaped like Lizzo.
Yep.
But, you know, it wouldn't make sense for Lizzo to try to go and attract men who like women who look like Nicki Minaj. So it's like, stay in your lane.
Okay, I'll just say this to go back to what Jen said about wanting the winner. That's one of the things that a lot of men talk about as well. You want the winner, but most men don't reach what you want until late 30s, early 40s, maybe 50. So what does he do in the meantime? Because you got to work on yourself to become that winner. Like, that don't happen overnight. So he get rejected until he become that. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a trend. All of this takes place over time. Like, I understand
we need to normalize men getting their shit together before they're 40.
To answer it's a good question. It's an absolutely good question. What do I do in the meantime? What you do in the meantime is what Shannon said. Drive in your own lane. That's all. It's very simple in your own lane. It's very simple in your own dating pool. If you stay within your own lane and your own dating pool, you won't have a problem with women. The thing is that the men cast that wide net. I see men do this all the time. There are women, I'm sure, that would love to date you, but they're probably not the epitome of the women you want to date. You're probably like, oh, you're a little chubby for me, or you're a little short, or you're like, your teeth are kind of messed up. You have to understand what your lane is and accept it until you can get better. If all you can afford is cheeseburger money, then you have to eat that cheeseburger and like it until you can get a filet mignon. The problem with men is they want the filet mignon and they got cheeseburger money. Stay in your lane. That's what you do in the meantime. So you do in the meantime. It's simple. Life is simple. People complicate their own lives.
Right.
Very, very simple.
Master your lane.
I love that. I fucking love that. Master your lane. Less disappointment there.
That's a great. I mean, look, that's a great point. Like, I'm not gonna debate that at all. I think my ultimate point is the lane that I'm running it's a lane that I'm running with the racetrack that y'all created. The course always changes. So no matter how good I'm staying in my lane, I might have a woman that's in that same lane that tells me that she wants filet mignon, but she's cheeseburger. See, that's where the rejection comes in, because it's not just the filet mignon that'll tell me and no. It's the macaroni and cheese with no meat in it. So when you are a guy that's running this race and the racetrack continually changes, that's what causes the transformation from nice guy to good guy to that middle ground. Like you said, Jen, I agree with you 100%. You gotta, as a man, you gotta have both sides, the nice guy and the asshole. That's the only way you're gonna get respect. But just like what Dame said, the guy that blows your back out every night, but he treats you like crap, eventually you're going to get tired of him. And what we hear all the time is, I want me a nice, God-fearing man. And it's like, okay, you get him. He's so focused on Jesus that he can't stroke you right. So now it's, damn, what man can win?
Well, he needs to be with Jesus and not me. Come on.
About the lanes switching, great point. It's a cold world. Dress warm, baby. The second thing is it's about balance. If a woman's been getting dogged out by this guy with the good stroke, and she says, I want a nice guy, she still wants a nice guy with balance. She doesn't want to go the pendulum shouldn't swing all the way to the other side where it's like, we're praising Jesus every morning, pray with me late. It shouldn't. You need balance. Men need balance. Master balance. Master your lane, and you'll be fine. And let me just be clear. You're like, the lanes are changing. You are the man. You are the leader. Whatever you say goes. You create your world. You don't let people pull you to and fro to different lanes. You are the man. You're the leader. That is what we want. This is how friend. He's like,
I 100% agree.
You have to fit into my frame.
Dang,
men
she need a round of applause.
You're right. Many balance.
Baby.
Many balance. Women need perspective. That's what I think it is. Women, like you said, like my man Tez says, if it's hard where she's saying when the Lizzos are thinking that guys in their same race is not up to their level. So it's like, so what am I doing? What do I do? So let's just say I'm a 5 adjustable 6 and I'm running in the 5-6 lane. But the 5 adjustable 6 women thinking they get the 8s and the 9s of men.
Yep.
It's like, that's what Tez was saying about them they're moving the goalposts, so they're making the game unfair. So what we end up doing, unfortunately, is these 2 3s that's coming at us, we dog them out and we the assholes. But then they love us for it.
Facts.
You know, so that's what it is. It's like, if women have more perspective and or it's like, okay, look, I know where I am in life. I know I'm in the 5-6 lane. I'm running that race. So the dudes running in the race, those are the people I should be rocking with. Then the 2s and 3s would kind of run with each other. They wouldn't be, because even those 2s and 3s are trying to get the 5-6s.
Yep.
Because they think that's the way it should be. Because a 5 one time reached down and messed with a 2 on the late night. So now that 2 think that she's a 5. She deserves the 5. So that's what my man Tez was saying. It's just like it's hard when the perspective isn't there to keep things equitable.
But
and I think that's what
people who don't want you are none of your business, though. If you're in the 5-6, because I like that analogy. If you're in the 5-6, but you're saying the women that are 5-6 want the 9-10s, right? Those women are none of your business. Aren't there more women on the planet than men? You can't find one woman that appreciates you where you are at the level you are. So you mean even the Lizzos don't want you? If the Lizzos don't want you, you better pull up to the mirror, baby. If the Lizzo is even saying, nah, you ain't it, I can do better, pull up to the mirror, because women are out here. I've seen big girls all up and down my Instagram timeline with wedding rings on and wedding dresses. They are getting married out here. They get married out.
I was just about to say, when I go to the grocery store, that's all I see with partners are big as fat women. So I'm like, they're doing something right. But let me say this. I think that when we get to, what's a 2, what's a 3, what's a 4, what's a 5, what's a 9 and a 10, like, how are we judging? Because I feel like we have to stop judging off of looks alone or how much money somebody makes alone, because I think a lot of men feel like they're top tier because they make a lot of money. I'm one of those
women tell us we're top tier because we make a lot of money. Women tell us we're top tier. If women would fuck a dude in a cardboard box, we wouldn't buy houses.
No, but I mean, because you don't have to be in a cardboard box, like that's what Jen was saying. Like, it doesn't have to be, it has to be a balance. It has to be somewhere in the middle, not so extreme. But I'm here to tell you that you could be worth millions, billions, but if you don't have the kind of penis I like, I'd be settling for you. I would be settling for you. No, I'm not going to walk away from that type of opportunity, but I would be settling. And at some point, when I figure out how I can get that type of money on my own, I'm probably going to plan my exit. So, and to a lot of women, I think women are becoming more emotionally intelligent. So we're realizing that, okay, just because someone looks like Lizzo or looks like Precious, that doesn't mean that she's a 2. She could be she could have a really quality personality. She could have a really quality upbringing, a real quality outlook on life. She could be the type of woman that she would be willing. She has willingness. So she realizes that she's big or she's obese, but she's willing to change that, and I have come across a lot of men who have money and they feel like, okay, because I have money and I'm in control, they don't have that willingness. Well, you're not top tier. You just make good money, or you just have all the things that money can, buy you.
Which is a lot of times a top tier woman. A visually top tier woman, I should say. If this guy can get, that's Shannon. Shannon, can you mute real quick? A rich guy can get a visually stunning woman. I mean, some of the most beautiful women you ever seen on the planet. And that's just because they don't have to do anything but be rich. They don't have to be in shape. All that stuff is a plus. If you have $100 million, you being in shape, you being tall, you having a great stroke is just extra to a lot of women. They will rock with you, be loyal, be faithful, give you children, all that stuff, if you have that one thing, which is money. And that's a fact. I can go, and we've both been around situations where you see the most unattractive rich guy with the baddest chick, and they have kids. I've seen women who have ugly kids because they got with a guy only for the fact that he was rich.
Don't talk about Beyonce, okay? Leave Beezus out of it.
I didn't say that. That's true. That all you beehives, any beehive people watching this, that is not that is not Can I Get Some podcast point. So you go on the block with Jen for all that shit. She want all the smoke. She like Smokey the Bear. She want all the smoke. Only Jen can prevent forest fires for real.
But dang, I wanted to go in with you on that, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to.
Can't hear you, Dame.
Can't hear you, Dame.
Like, dang, going hard too. We can't hear shit.
I know. Look like he was preaching.
Technical.
He's getting serious over there. But yeah,
Anyways, I feel like we're kind of getting off topic.
You hear me now?
Of course.
Can you hear me? Y'all can hear me? Thumbs up.
I know.
Okay, good.
I feel like we're kind of getting off topic a little bit. I mean,
all right, hold on, let me turn my volume up. Hold on a second. See, all my stuff is out. I've been on them all day on calls, and I forgot to charge it, and now everything's dying on me. Laptop's dying, AirPods dying. So
can we just say it ain't simping if you got it? Can we just do that?
It's still simping.
I was about to say the same thing, Jen.
Where are you from?
Huh?
Where are you from? Where's the accent from?
So I'm from Fayette County, but that's like closer to Memphis, so we just tell everybody we from Memphis.
Okay.
You're from Memphis?
Accent is Southern.
Yeah. But I just, like I said, I appreciate y'all for letting me up. I knew when I get the notification that y'all going live, and I'm gonna try to interact a little bit more. You know, I think that's healthy in this space because it is hard trying to break through with the algorithm, especially when you might have great content, but it don't matter if don't nobody see it. So I do everything in my power to try to help the situation, but conversations like this always help because it's a lot of men and a lot of women that have no idea about what they doing, where they going, and anytime that is people that's trying to give advice, trying to share some life, especially based on their own personal situations, you can always learn from that. And just some background, like I wasn't trying to make this a personal thing. I'm married, so all of that stuff, you know, that's just experience, life experience. But it wasn't a back and forward, Jen. I like your opinion. Yeah, it wasn't nothing personal. You know, sometimes on these panels, people take things extremely serious, and I'm happy that this ain't this type of space. But I just wanted to let it know, like, hey, good guys finish, like nice guys finish last, good guys finish first.
And Taz, you're welcome on my channel anytime. You're a good sport. I get passionate, but it's not personal with me either. I just like talking.
And I think we need to debate that on one of y'all panels because I ain't with this answer still, Taz. I mean, but okay.
It's the truth. I didn't been there and done it. I didn't seen other guys been there and done it. Like that's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to sit back and change that narrative when I lived it, and I know a lot of other men have lived it. So it's like, okay, do I believe my 4 eyes or do I believe my ears? I'm looking and watching and seeing this happen in real time, and then I have other people that's like, no, that ain't true. I'm looking at it. It happened to me. It happened to my partner here. It happened to Jerry here.
No, we're not denying, like, that's not what I'm not trying to contradict that was your experience. What I am trying to say is you're not holding yourself, that favorite word everybody says, accountable. Where did you come up short? Why that was your experience? For every action, there's a reaction. So I'm not saying that's not that didn't happen to you. I have girlfriends that are like, every guy I meet treats me bad. Mm-hmm. Why? And she can tell me, no, you can't tell me it didn't happen, Jen, just because it didn't happen to you. It happened to me. I'm not saying it didn't happen to you, Tess. Why did it keep happening? Why did it happen to Jerome over there and Jamal over there? Why did it happen to you? Were you putting your best foot forward? Were you the attractive guy in the room? You said you liked the girl and she picked your friend.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Tempo, welcome back.
All right. If anybody make fun of these wired headphones, I'm banning you for life from the show. These are my daughters. I was like, couldn't find my other ones over the head, and grabbed my daughters out of her backpack. So
you was going hard, bro. We didn't know what you were saying. We was looking like.
So that's what's up. But hey,
the experiences are real, but we have to pause. It's so hard for adults to do. Pause and ask yourself, how did I contribute to this situation or this rejection? No one wants to do that. They want to blame the other party for wanting someone that's an asshole or not wanting someone that's too nice. That's all I'm saying. How did I partake? It's something people don't ask themselves. How did I partake in this rejection? Why are women rejecting me? Why am I looked at as a nice guy? You have to do some inner work. Nobody wants to do inner work. They want to do podcasts and talk about the opposite sex. That was my point.
All right. We're going to have to end this. This has been great. This has been live, but it's been long. I need to get some sleep for work tomorrow. I just appreciate everybody who had the chance to come up on here. Hey, Tez, anytime you want to jump on, feel free, man. I love your perspective, what have you. We love having you, man. So anytime you want to jump on, feel free. Anybody got any last words that people want to say? Anything want to say? I'm good. If anybody got any last words, I would love to hear them.
I'm gonna end on what BZ said. That right there is gospel. Nice men are not necessarily always good. Good men are not necessarily always nice. I'm cool with that. And right there.
All right. So I just want to go down the line and thank everybody. All right. So first I want to thank, of course, I'm my man Tess for coming up. Shannon, you got to mute up real quick. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate you jumping on. You know, come check out the thing earlier, because I think I actually put the link up at the beginning of the show to see, like, put it up there. Anybody want to jump on? But I'm glad you ended up coming on. We really appreciate what you had to say. Shout your channel out, brother.
Oh, so the 5100 podcast, look, we on YouTube, but like I tell everybody, we a legit podcast. So we got audio podcast. That's what we do most of our real talks, breaking down, like I said, the episode of the good guys, nice guys finish last, good guys finish first. So it gives more perspective. But we do have a YouTube channel as well. We mostly do lives and some reaction videos there, but I will be glad to have any of y'all over there. We usually an open panel. We cook for 30 minutes and we might open it up. So y'all are more than welcome to come over and kind of jump in. And I'll be more than willing to hop on. Dame, anytime y'all on, I'm willing to do it. Jenny, you might just have to shoot me your information, but I'm more than willing to hop on.
On the block with Jen.
All right. Thank y'all so much again.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right. So I know my lovely co-host Jazz Phillips says she has to jump off real quick. So I just want to give a shout out to you. We love having you back and consistently on it. Which she just added something real dope to the panel. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys. This was fun.
I gotta bring Shannon back on. Hold on a second. All right. Amy, we really appreciate you so much. You just y'all don't know, Amy is just a great all-around person. Like, you know, her and her husband and welcomed my wife and I into their home for Jerry's birthday, and it just most accommodating, dope people. So we just want to I want to thank you again for that. And she's just we always love having you. She took time out, a busy day, long day for us. So we really appreciate everything that you did. So thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night. Diddy, my man, my mellow, really appreciate you coming through. I'm gonna need you to turn your camera off when you leave, because then it's like an empty chair, it's like a ghost in the machine.
Oh my bad. it's like I literally be getting off work, man. 9:30, 10. I'd be like, I ain't gonna miss damn. Let me get on here. I'll be like 30 minutes an hour, but I got you, bro.
I really appreciate you coming through. You always have good shit to say, and it's just the best having you, man. It's always good to have that.
I was a little quiet. It was just like, you know, the simp thing. It was a hard balance for me, man. But I let the
that's like when people
when it gets on, I just be like, buckle up. It's over.
I feel the same way. People invite me on panels and they'll be talking like child support. I'm like, I don't have child support, so I don't really got a dog in that fight. So, you know, that kind of stuff. A lot of people, but I really appreciate every time you come on. You always have a really good perspective, and the ladies love everything you can say because you be saying real facts. And I really appreciate it. Peace out, man.
Bye, buddy.
Jen, my mellow, my girl, my dog. I mean, you ratchet the shit up to a whole nother level. You know, You like turn it up to 10, break the knob off kind of situation. We love that. We love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You always have amazing things to say. I love being on her panel. She has just the greatest things. I try so hard not to steal your topics because they'd be so great, and I'm going to put my own perspective on them. But she's just an amazing content creator. So anybody that don't know, you have to go to On the Block with Jen and check out her stuff. She's got a library of amazing content out there that you guys is just going to love. And she's always welcome to have people who got something to say and a good perspective onto her panel. So definitely check her out. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Comment on her stuff. She's just an amazing person. Follow her on IT as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Peace. All right, Shannon. To my lovely co-host, I really appreciate you coming through, and you're just the best person to work with. I'm glad we're doing this thing. We're making it happen. Stay around. I just want to talk about the next show because, like I said, I want to start the reaction show between me and you. We're gonna react to stuff. So we're gonna kind of finalize. So I just want to give you a round of applause for everything that you do. And we definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Having a great time.
All right, so for all those listening, like I said, if you haven't liked and subscribed, we got real beef. Let's be friends. Like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. We do this every Tuesday. We also have I also do Can I Get Some Interviews? This next interview is going to be Friday. I'm going to be interviewing the ladies of Creating Anarchy. If you haven't saw their show, you're really missing out. They do everything relationship-wise, interview porn stars, talk about domestic violence. Their thing is so interesting, and they both look amazing doing it. Mm-hmm. So go check out Creating Anarchy. I'll be interviewing them on Friday, same time, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be our next show. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, and we'll see you next week. Talk to you later.